Ty Simpson is saying all the right things at the Manning Passing Academy and has me thinking, could he, Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer, and Alabama perhaps do there what they did at Washington? What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you think that Ty Simpson can be in line to have the kind of gear that Michael Penix Jr. had in 2023, especially when you take into account guys like Ryan Williams? I'm also going to take this opportunity to remind you that we have an audio podcast on Apple and Spotify, and we just went over 100 ratings on Spotify. It's very cool. We are fast approaching 400 ratings on Apple, and if you go there and you leave us a 5-star review, I am willing to put one of these stickers in the mail to you with a personal handwritten thank you note from me. All you have to do is go to Spotify, Apple, leave those 5-star reviews, and then hit the form in the description below and tell me where I should send your sticker. So, Alabama, going into 2025, is trying to reclaim the standard that has been set there since 2009, really. We're talking about winning championships. Winning 9 games is not the standard at Alabama. Losing 4 games is not the standard at Alabama. Losing to Vanderbilt definitely does not factor in to the standard at Alabama. Historically, Tennessee, fine. Oklahoma, fine. Michigan, fine. Historically. Now, teams are up and down, right? We're talking about a Michigan team that beat you without a quarterback. Now, it's also a Michigan team that beat Ohio State, who's the national champions, without a quarterback. Oklahoma was up and down and basically beat you with Jackson Arnold on the ground and a great defense. Tennessee, that's a playoff team. Vanderbilt just wasn't the Vanderbilt anybody expected, but they're still not supposed to take down the number 1 team in the country. Not after you took down the number 1 team in the country. That was Georgia and the eventual SEC champion, Georgia Bulldogs. So now we're going into year 2 of Kalen DeBoer. And there are a couple of things that I think Ty Simpson alluded to that had me thinking, right? One of those is he's saying all the right things. He is absolutely putting on the armor of what I know as a traditional Alabama quarterback, right? You think about Greg McElroy, A.J. McCarron. We're going to speak nicely about our adversaries, except when we play against them. We are going to speak highly of our coaches, and we're going to give everybody the same message that we're about winning football games. One example of this was him talking about Garrett Nussmeier. He said, what's not to like about Garrett's game? And he gave a rundown of all the things in which he enjoys about LSU's quarterback, right? That's a rival for you. But at the Manning Passing Academy, all those guys are trying to get better. And it is a who's of college quarterbacks in Tito, Louisiana. I also thought it was interesting that he pointed out, look, this is Coach DeBoer's program. Coach Saban isn't walking in there. And I'm going, okay, we're still doing the narrative because we have to do the narrative, right? It's going to be this when you go win 9 games, when the reason you were brought in to be the head coach at Alabama is because you were able to win championships at Washington and make the college football playoff and damn near, right, get to a point where you were going to win the national championship, right? Like, that was them that went over the top of Texas, that went into the national championship game. So getting Ryan Grubb back in the fold, I think is huge, right? Because I'm looking at what Michael Penix Jr. was able to do his last 2 years at Washington. It's phenomenal. Over 4,600 yards passing in the last 2 years each, right? And then 4,900 in 2023. At least 30 TDs thrown. They're going to throw the ball with him for 320, 350 a game. And I think the partnership with Rome Odunze is one we'll think about when we talk about Ty Simpson and Ryan Williams. You have the potential for that same sort of relationship, right? To say nothing of the rest of Alabama's receiving tree. Like, they got one of mine, right? Cole Adams went to high school at Owasso, Oklahoma, which is a suburb of Tulsa. His father, Mike Adams, was my head coach in high school. They got guys, right? They got dudes for him to sling the ball around. And I also think it's important to note that Simpson was the guy that was really tabbed with, okay, if Jalen can't do it, it's got to be you. But the offense is geared toward the quarterback's skill set. And Jalen Milroe is next level with the ball in his hands and the play breaking down. He can go get you an explosive TD with his legs. He can get you an explosive TD with his arms. He's much more athletic and agile quarterback than Ty Simpson. However, perhaps the offense and the one that Grubb is best able to call and the one that DeBoer is most comfortable with has more to do with a guy that can spread the ball around and a guy that he can trust at the line of scrimmage to make checks to get them into the best play. The knock that I had with Jalen Milroe is that he just was too intermittent with being careful with the football. Throwing it to other people, putting it on the floor. Throwing it to other people is bad. Putting it on the floor, I can't have, especially from my quarterback. You have to have the best hands on the team. You touch the ball more than anybody else, not named the center, right? Like, that's part of it. Ball security is your thing. Now they're going to do this with basically a new bell cow back with Justin Haynes transferring to Michigan. And I expect to see more feed the ball to Ryan Williams, which again can lead to an outstanding relationship between Ty Simpson and Ryan Williams. I'm also excited to see what Ryan Grubb has to say because we're going into an offseason where you get to know what the quarterback is going to be, right? Simpson's going to be your guy. And Ryan Grubb, after spending a year in Seattle, probably comes back and goes, okay, I know what I'm doing here. And I know how to do this at a high level. Doing it in the SEC, though, all you got to do is talk to DeBoer about that. We're also looking at this from the standpoint of what Alabama wants out of DeBoer. The scuttle is everybody wants this dude to win, right? There's nobody against DeBoer, but you're looking at him and you're going, did we make the right decision here? Because that's what the heat is like at Alabama. They don't do with 9-win seasons well, 8-win seasons well. They've had their down years. Sure, we all have. But it is a program not unlike Oklahoma or Nebraska or Arkansas or Mississippi or LSU, where you are the program that people care about, and winning double digits, that's what it is. For Nick Saban, I'm thinking about the 2019 year, right? Which is, not their year, but you end up making a Citrus Bowl and, playing against Michigan, and everybody's like, ho-hum, right? Meanwhile, you come back 2020, Mac Jones and them, and that's the new standard everybody's chasing, because that team, for me, is one of the best teams to ever play football. That 2020 Alabama team, I don't know that we're going to see another one like it, but I didn't think we were going to see that after 2019 with LSU, or 2018 with Clemson, or 95, 94 Nebraska, or 04 SC, right? 05 Texas. You keep going, right? It's fun to talk about these teams and what they're capable of. It's also fun to have a quarterback that is able to converse with the media during the summer and know what to say, not make any waves. Ty Simpson did the opposite of what Thomas Castellano did with Pete Nikos. He said, hey, I'm going to say nice things, right? In his head. I'm not going to put bulletin board material out there. Give as much rat poison as you can to the other team. We're not going to take any. Meanwhile, Thomas Castellano's quotes got to be pasted all over campus, dog. Like, even if you are a student and you don't play, you probably took what he had to say kind of personally. I'm excited for what Alabama is capable of with Ty Simpson at quarterback, Ryan Williams at wide receiver, and Ryan Grubb calling plays. We'll find out a lot when they play Florida State week 1.